Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well and everything is good at your end. I just want to make a quick video on how having fear only solidifies the fact that how big is our ego. Uh, so, the reference I'm going to make in this video is some aspects of non duality, some aspects of psychology, and some aspects of spirituality on the whole and as well as a bit of bhakti also. So I hope I am able to put across my point. So whenever we are very fearful, be it anything, fear of abandonment, fear of failure, I'm not talking about just normal fear of exam or stuff, yeah, but fear of exam is also in a sort of a fear of failure only. When the fear is so much in your head, even if it's with respect to fear of friends or fear of socializing or fear of speaking on the stage or fear of going and keeping your point across in the world, any sort of fear, any sort, some fears can be easily managed while talking it out, you know to a therapist, getting into CBT, or by just countering your thoughts ki no, this is not the right way, this is not how it's supposed to be. But sometimes those fears are so deep rooted that they become your karmic patterns. Like you will feel, okay, I've overcome my fear, and bam, bang on, it'll be back again. So why do we have such fears? First, let's understand that. Because as much as ego, by ego I don't mean to say pride, those of you who are listening, ego means the sense of I am there, how it could happen to me. The higher your ego, the more fear you will have. And there is no denial that that's how human is trained or brought up since time immemorial, because in early times, the cave people, the early man, it was all a fight for survival. You know, there were no houses, there was no protection, there was nothing. The animals and the humans lived under the same sky in the jungle. And in order to protect themselves, that's where the fear based mechanism came up. If you think, like, oh, the invention, like, the early man invented fire in order to scare away the animals. Why? Because there was fear of attack. And how over the time, then of course, things started going in DNA and all that. I'm not getting into history here. Here today in 21st century, in this timeline we are, where these fears are very deep rooted in us, from our ancestors, from all the lineage we have lived. Though it's very hard to understand because we are very limited in time and space, but of course, there's no denial in that. So, what I personally feel, that any sort of fear can only come when a human finds himself or herself as an individual entity, beginning as well as the end of it. Means the individual does not see herself or himself as going beyond me. You know, okay, I am there, okay, I will have to do this, I'll have to manage, this is what I'm supposed to do, that is what I'm supposed to do. And when then things don't happen your way, you get into depression, or things do happen your way, but some things go haywire, or the timeline is not according to you, then that's a problem. Please understand that you are not the end. And even since childhood, we are taught, be ambitious, do this, take responsibility of the family, especially in middle class male members, do this. We are taught so much to do, that we think that everything is in our control. But honey, it's not. Guys, it's not. By saying this, I don't mean to say that don't take action. I don't mean to say that don't do your duty or don't do your karma, but always have a state of surrender. And if a human actually learns how to live in a space of surrender, A human being actually lives by thinking that okay, I am, but I am not. Have a strong sense of self to survive in the world, but don't be egoistic about it. What do I mean by this? Let's say you studied very hard for exam. I deserve 95 plus this. And how much you get? Let's say 88, 89. How can I get this? Why? I put my effort. Or, next time, then when it will be there, what's the use of studying so much every time this only happens? And these things happen at a very minute level. It's not very evident from a common eye to a normal human. You know, these are the fears which are rooted in deep in your subconscious, which decides the way you behave, which decides the way you are, what you do, what you do not do. And when I said in the beginning of the video that you will get some aspects of spirituality and non duality, because non duality says the Jeev and Atma are one the same thing, you know, but that does not mean that you need to have the control. You take responsibility of your life, take actions, do things, but don't be in the control of hoping that things would go the way you would want them to be. So this is a very personal suffering that this video has come from, because I was so scared of things going bad that I used to predict things even without taking actions in my life. And then, but obviously, they would go that way, you know. And at the end of the day, I've only realized that this mechanism of mine, nothing but it was a big time ego. Because I am not even allowing the universe, I'm not even allowing, allowing the higher power to bring about some good changes in my personal life. I mean my personal life, I mean personal, professional, both in the entirety my life. Because that fear also gives you a sense of control. Let's say, oh, I'm fearful ki I'll fall down from cycle, so it's better I don't learn how to cycle. Or I'm fearful, that if I go in the car somewhere, I'll get tired, and or like I'll go on the stage, people will laugh at me, so let me not go on the stage. You are just being a hindrance in your own blessings by letting your fears control your ego, or letting your, it's like interrelated, higher the ego, higher the fear, because you are so attached to the idea of yourself, you are protecting yourself. Of course, fear, I always say, is nothing but in a way your defense mechanism and a protection mechanism to not be at the risk factor. What if people don't laugh and they actually clap for you? What if you actually don't fall and you're able to go way ahead? And this took me a very, very long time to realize. And I will not undermine the role of society, the role of parenting, the role of environment in which you are living, which puts all these limited belief systems and fears in you. But that is what a human is born for, to break it on a minute basis daily, one by one, one by one. So that's all, more or less, I wanted to convey. That please learn to surrender to the higher self, to the God, in the face of your fear. Because when you are actually letting God operate you, and you're not letting your fears operate you, which is you're not letting your ego operate you by your attachment to yourself, which is leading to those fears, miracles are bound to happen. Please have faith. As so there is this Indian saint, those of you who are watching it from outside, known as Premanand Ji. He focuses a lot on chanting, and you can also, one way, if everyone doesn't want to read non-duality, and because it's a lot knowledge based and it's quite technical, you can always follow chanting, you can always read any of the other scripture you want, you can always have that faith. I personally chant a Buddhist mantra that helps me, release that egoistic fearful control from my life and be in a space of surrender. So please, yeah, I hope this video helps. And if you have anything to share, any viewpoint, you think I am wrong somewhere, you want to add something, kindly mention in the comments below. Along with that, please like, please subscribe, and I can't wait to engage with you all more. Thank you. Bye.